Funhouse. I'm Molly, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to spend with me. Grab your favorite drink, your coffee, your tea, your water, your hot chocolate, anything that you enjoy sitting and knitting with, or crocheting with, or working on handwork with. I have been really obsessed with my knitting lately. And I really love that. It's the most exciting thing. You can see how thrilling my life is. But it's the most exciting thing when you find a project that just consumes you, and that's all that you want to work on, and you are loving every minute of it. And that's how I feel about my spiral blanket of awesomeness. So I have this in my super awesome raw project bag, along with my chapstick that I just received. And I am just loving knitting this. It's so much fun. I'm so happy that I stumbled upon the O-Loops podcast and saw Sarah knitting this, because I think especially when you do a magic cake style, just something about that, it makes it really exciting. Every single row I wanted to get to the next color, and I enjoyed knitting each color. I just looked forward to seeing the next color come out of my magic cake. So I've already gone through my magic cake. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, so I ripped out the middle. I totally forgot to say that. I've forgotten that we haven't spoken for a week. And I wanted to mention, I apologize for not being out at the park. It's been raining all morning. It's supposed to rain the rest of the day, so there's no way that I can podcast there, which stinks. Hopefully next week. I tried it out on my balcony, but it just wasn't working as always. I don't think I'll really ever be able to do it out on the balcony. Anyway, so I did rip out the center of my Shawl of Awesomeness, or spiral blanket of awesomeness, and I am over the moon happy that I did. I think it looks a million times better. So it's hard to see because I have it on the needles, but so this is how the middle looks. And it just looks fantastic. I think it looks so much nicer now. Before, it really didn't tie together nicely. I know that's kind of the point of a magic cake, just to have it be different, and it is different. It is quite different, all of my yarns. I just have 5 yarns right now, and I've put it at a stop because I know that this sounds ridiculous and crazy, but I have no more yarn to go with this. I want this blanket to just be made by indie dyers. I don't want to use a commercial yarn. So I don't have any more scraps. I have skeins that I could totally rip into, but I don't really want to do that for the sake of my spiral blanket of awesomeness. So I think that this can just stay on hold for a while. Like I said, I really enjoyed knitting it. It has been so much fun. I'm so curious how huge it is, because I think it's already quite big. I've been knitting these on oh goodness, I wish I could remember. I'm knitting them on my Carbons needles by Knit Pro. And let's see what I'm knitting them on. I took the needles off because it's the same exact, they're my interchangeables also, because it's the same exact size of needles for the shawl that I've been designing for what seems like years. But the numbers have worn off of the needles. I think it's a 4.0, 4 millimeter. But anyway, I took those off of there, And I have my stoppers on, and it's just on hold until I use a skein of yarn that goes with this. And this will be for a little baby of ours whenever I'm pregnant and have a baby. I think it's beautiful. I think it's so gorgeous. I really, really love it. A lot of it is soft cashmere blends. This one is, the blue one is, the green one is. This is the Cakewalk Yarns, which isn't in business anymore, and I've always wanted yarn from them. So that is so kind of special. And then this one is from Helga. Yeah, I don't know what color I want now. I kind of would like to keep it these sort of colors. I would love, 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 love to put a golden yellow in here, like this sort of shade. I think that would look fantastic. And then I don't know, I think I would like 2 more colors, and I need a lot of each, so maybe it makes sense to rip into a skein. Yeah. And then brown could be nice, or a gray. I don't know, I have to think about it. I think this will just sit until I use a skein of yarn that is perfect for it, until I find some. I think this color, the color that I'm knitting my shawl with, would look fantastic with it. But it's almost gone. If I squeeze it, you can see there really isn't that much left, and I just want to get this shawl finished. Not that I just want to get the pattern out there. Fall is coming, and I really want you guys to be able to knit it up, and I really want to knit up another one. I'm at a block right now. I finished my section that I've been working on for a while, and now it's going to change a little bit, and I'm not sure how the final rows of the shawl need to be. And I can't wait to show it to you. I cannot wait to show the shawl to you. Like I said, I've been working on it quite a bit this week. I had such a, I'll put the spiral blanket of awesomeness away as I talk. I had such a difficult moment with this because after I had set it down, which is something that I'm doing with this shawl, every time I'm knitting on it, I'm not writing any notes on where I'm leaving off. And so I actually had no idea what in the world I did the last couple of rounds. And I actually began to think that I had made a mistake, that I had done something completely wrong. And I wasn't sure. My stitch count was completely off. I probably sat for 3 hours trying to figure out this one row and what had gone wrong. And I was so frustrated, I just wanted to rip it out. I wanted to rip the entire section out, which was quite a bit at that time because I think there were maybe 350 stitches on the needle or so. It was kind of in the middle of the lace section that I'm working on right now. And it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating. I was so irritated with myself for not writing anything down, for not writing any notes down. Like, Molly, why didn't you write something down? You're designing a pattern. What are you thinking? Anyway, I called my mom had sent me a message telling me to call her and talk to her, and because usually I'm calling her on her way to work, and I'll explain that after I finish this. Okay, so I called her and we talked a little bit, and then I went back to my knitting and I figured it out. Seriously, I would say within 5 to 10 minutes. I think I just needed to step away. I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even, marinating in my mind. What have I done wrong? And then I came back to it, and like I said, I figured it out in maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'm still having a little bit of trouble as I'm knitting on with the stitch count. I'm not sure where I'm wanting it to go. I know you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but I I'm really loving the way that the shawl is turning out. Like I said, it's in my opinion the most perfect shawl for me, especially. I love the color, I love the stitch pattern, I love everything about it, and I love that I just think it's so fun that I'm designing it, and I can really pick the way that it's looking and just customize it perfectly. I think that's so much fun, and I'm enjoying the process, and I'm looking forward to figuring out what I want to do with the stitch pattern and seeing it done. I feel like I need to set a goal for myself, because it has taken way too long. It's a little bit, now it's getting to be ridiculous. So I would like to say that this is one thing that I'm really going to work on this week and have finished by the next podcast. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to do that. Obviously, if this creative flow doesn't begin again, then I can't. I'm not going to push myself. But as soon as I get it, I want to make myself knit on the shawl. Because when my mom called, we've been kind of talking for the past maybe 2 weeks about me or Elodie and I going to Wisconsin, which is where I'm from, for a while, for 3 weeks to be exact, because Robert has a play that he's in, and he's traveling and he's gone all the time, and so we thought it would be a perfect time to travel and visit my grandma and my mom and dad and my sister and brother and just my family living in Wisconsin. So that morning, or it was afternoon for me and morning for my mom, we booked the tickets to go and visit. So Elodie and I, it's going to be a crazy flight. We'll be going for 3 weeks, which is so exciting, from the middle of September, or kind of the end of September, until October. So I'm over the moon excited. I've flown there alone with Elodie once as well last September, and it was a little bit difficult, but it wasn't so crazy. It was hard. I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't, because she was 1.5 at that time. Now she is 2.5, so it won't be that bad, but I'm so excited. I would have loved to have gone in the beginning of September, because I think the 5th, 6th, and 7th is the September Woolen Sheep Festival, and we went last year. It was so fun, but it didn't work out that way. We want to leave when Robert is gone, and he's not gone that weekend. So yeah, we have our tickets, we're going, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to be in Wisconsin again and see my grandma and see my mom and dad and my sister and brother and my nephew. It'll be so nice. It will be so nice. I hope the weather is cool enough. And I would like to have the shawl finished definitely by the time we go. And the pattern out, because it's fall. And we want to be knitting shawls and things in the fall. So I would love to do that. And then I would really like the next 2 patterns that I would like to have finished be my mittens and then another shawl. Something that I've never mentioned is I've gone on and on about how I'm making an ebook. Well, I've decided that, and I've decided this for quite a long time, that isn't actually what I want to do. I want to release a series of patterns, and then I will compile them together into the ebook as soon as all of the patterns are finished. And there will be some really special features about this ebook. That's all I'm going to say. It will be a little bit different than the patterns, of course. But yeah, first I will release each pattern as I finish them, and then compile them together in an ebook. So please help cheer me on in finishing up my shawl design. I would be over the moon happy if it was finished. So let's see what else I'm working on. So this is my last knitting project. I had hoped, really hoped to work on a Bird of Happiness this week, but it didn't happen. I was so consumed in my Spiral Blanket of Awesomeness that is the whole thing that I knit all the time. I knit so much on that. I think it's quite large already. And I spent a fair bit of time working on my shawl, and then I finished my first sock. So here it is. I'm just calling this my ice cream socks. They're adorable. They actually look cuter than I thought. I thought that they would look nice, of course, but after I finished it and slipped it on my foot, I really liked it. So I just knit the sock pattern that I'm always knitting. It's 56 stitches, and then I knit a Fish Lips Kiss heel. I used the outside strand of my cake to knit the heel, just so it was concise all the way through, which is what I'm pretty much always doing now. And then I did my normal toe that I'm knitting. So this is the way that it turned out, and I always knit from my heel to my toe, just so you know how large my foot is. 19 centimeters. And then I do my toe decreases. I think I wear a size 39, which is like an American 8.5. So, gosh, it's like in every bag I have a little bit of goodies. And I always want to put them on when I open my project bags. So in this one, I'm just putting on right now my Lolo Love Lavender Lil Hard Lotion. This is from Elizabeth, and I love it. I love it so much. Okay, and this is my cute little sheep. I showed you guys this last week. Why am I showing you it again? Okay, speaking of hard lotions, my friend Tina made me a really delicious smelling lemongrass hand soap, hand lotion, which is a hard soap, a hard lotion. My friend Tina made me a hard lotion bar in the shape of a heart, smelling like lemongrass. If only I could get it right. So it's lovely. I really want to start making some hard soaps. I think finding the right recipe is quite hard. Not getting it too greasy. I think the Lolo Love has hers pretty perfect. And the one that Tina made smells so wonderful. So this is what it looks like. It's just a cute little hard heart. And she wrapped it in some plastic cellophane. So I just have it in there, and I keep it in the fridge. And that smells heavenly. And then she made me 2 bath pralines. So this one as well as lemongrass. And it kind of looks like a little torte, like a little torte cake. So cute. I think I'll cut that in half. That's a lot to use in one bath. And then she made me a lavender one. I bet because she knows lavender is my favorite. Is that right, Tina? I love them. They're so nice. She's always experimenting with fun recipes. She's such a fantastic cook, and she likes to use a lot of natural things, which I love. So those are fantastic. I have been spinning. Not plying, but spinning. I've left my singles on the bobbin for a while. And here is one of them, and here is the other. This one's spun kind of hilariously. It's quite thick here, and then this thin here, and maybe I'll ply those today. I had no plans of plying it today actually, but now that I'm looking at them, I'm kind of curious how they're going to look, and I just thought I would let them rest on the bobbins for a while. I was listening to the Knitmore Girls shortly after my last podcast episode, and Jasmine was talking about just how it's a good idea to leave your singles as well as your plied yarn on the bobbins for at least a day, 24 hours. And so I've left them on there for definitely longer. These have been finished for quite a while. I finished the second one, the last bit in a day. I was just crazy eating through that. So this is Edgewood Garden hand painted roving by Ilga Janssens, water ski day. It's silk BFL 4.2 ounces, and I had so much fun spinning that. The silk BFL was so slippery in a totally fine way. I didn't have any sort of trouble spinning it. At first, it was a little bit different, of course, because as I said, I've never spun a BFL wool, but it was still loads and loads and loads of fun. I've also picked up, I haven't spun on this in a really, really long time, but I don't know, I've been looking through Instagram, and because a lot of people are doing their tour de fleece, loads of people, of course, are posting pictures of what they're working on, and so I've been naturally very inspired by the projects that all of you guys are working on. And I haven't worked on my drop spindle in ages, like I said, and it's just, the wheel is really, really nice, but there's something about the drop spindle that it just feels so much more natural. You kind of feel like, for me, it's amazingly meditative, and I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm back in the olden days. I sit out on my balcony and spin is what I've been doing quite a bit of lately, and really, really enjoying it. And I know that I've never seen anyone spinning in public here. Like I've mentioned, I've never seen anyone knitting in public, actually, ever. And I see some of my neighbors sometimes looking out over their balconies at me, and I think that they are wondering, what in the world is she doing now? Because out on my balcony, I'm spinning on my wheel, I'm knitting, I'm spinning on my drop spindle. Now I have been lately, and it's just, for me, it's funny because sometimes I catch the neighbors peeking out over their balcony at me, and I know that they probably think I'm weird. Or maybe they think it's cool. Maybe they would like to do something like this too, and they're watching because they're intrigued, or I don't know. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I'm spinning my it's Spin City UK. I always want to say 2K, but I'm pretty sure it's UK. And I'm spinning this on also my Spin City UK, please, I hope I'm right, drop spindle. It's the candy one. It's super cool. It's nice because it's a heavier weighted spindle, so it's perfect for spinning this thick, thin, I guess I would call it art yarn, because it has all of these crazy random flecks in there. I won't ply this, I don't think. I have no idea what I would do with such a thick yarn, except maybe sell it. But I really like the way it looks. I think it would look fantastic as some mittens or a hat. I don't know. I'm just really enjoying spinning with it. I've never spun any fiber like this. It's crazy. There are a lot of kind of pieces of, I don't even know, vegetation in there. A lot. And it's fun. It's fun to spin with. It's like I said, it's really, really different. It's nice because I don't really have to think about it at all. Not at all. I'm just letting the fiber do whatever it wants, and that's it. It's just becoming whatever it needs to be. And it's really pretty. It has, I'm just pulling out all of these crazy random pieces. I love the yellow in there. it's really, really rare that there is some yellow, but randomly you will get some yellow. And this is the drop spindle. It's ridiculously cool. I love it with all of those little candy sprinkles in there. So fun. And yeah, so I've been enjoying that. Tina and her husband Mishi were over yesterday with Emma, and I showed her a little bit of the drop spindling. I'm hoping that it would be cool if she got into drop spindling. I bet she would like it, just because it's so much fun. It's nice to be able to make yarn that you can then use yourself, even though I've never ever knit with hand spun, except for Martha from Tuft Woolens. She sent me a mini skein for my blanket of her hand spun. I don't know if you guys can hear the children outside, but it's Akita, must be walking through. Yeah, she gave me a mini skein of her hand spun, which I knit into my blanket. But other than that, I've never knit with hand spun, ever. So, yeah. And then what else I'm spinning is, because I finished my water ski day bat. No, my braid. It was a braid. It wasn't a bat. I decided to go ahead and finish something else. So I'm working on my Nicole C. Mendes Rolags, and here they are. I think they're just 100% merino. I can't remember. It's been really so long since I've spun this, and I was spinning it really quite fine. I think it will be a fingering when it's plied. So here it is. It's really pretty. It has some blues, some greens. It's just a fantastic colorway. It's going to be really nice and tonal, which is honestly what I've been just drooling over in yarns lately. I love tonal yarns. I think at the moment they're my favorite. I don't know. I guess I can't really say that, but I've really been lusting after tonal yarns. And like I said, I think that's what this is going to be. I have been having problems with my wheel lately. I think it needs to be really well oiled, and hopefully Robert will do that today, because it is really, really pulling on my yarn, pulling it out of my hands, which obviously then means the tension is off too, but I think it needs to be oiled as well. I really want to spin this. I think as soon as I finish this podcast, I'm going to spin it, even though I should be working on my shawl. But you know what? I want to do what I want, and if I'm finished recording and I want to spin, I'm going to spin, god darn it. Because that's the way life should be. So that's what I'm working on for the handcraft along. And it's just working out perfectly that it's Tour de Fleece, because I'm kind of spinning along with a lot of you guys who are doing Tour de Fleece. I've never participated in Tour de Fleece before. I don't even really know the rules or anything about it. I obviously know that it's based around Tour de France, but anything else, no. Maybe next year I'll get a bit more involved, if the group is interested in being involved. But it's been a lot of fun spinning. I'm just super enjoying it, obviously, which is why I'm spinning 3 different fibers right now. And I would like to get my goodness, what is it called? My Edgewood Garden singles off of one of the bobbins, because I only have 3 bobbins for my wheel. And while I am spinning my Nicole C. Mendes fiber, I would really like to start something else. I would really like to start spinning something else. What, I don't know. I'll have to go and look at my little fiber stash, but something else. Yeah, so all of that, like I said, was for the handcraft along that we're doing. It's almost finished. I think we have another week. And then we are doing our classic Must Knits Cal. That's with Kristen of Wool and Vine Yarns. Speaking of, I can show you guys this right now. I received a package from Kristen, And she sent me some tea, which has already been consumed. I drank it that day. And then she sent me a sweet little card and, of course, a business card. And I am just in love with her business cards. That yarn on the front. Can we just mention that? How pretty it is. One thing that I would maybe recommend, Kristen, maybe it's a nice idea to write like small on the back or something the name of the yarn on the front, because I think when a lot of people receive this, they see this picture and want that yarn, because that's how I feel when I look at it. And it would be kind of nice maybe if here in the corner said featured yarn or something about the yarn on the front and what it is. And then on the back it just has all of her information. She has the podcast Yarngasm, which is fantastic, which is why I'm doing a knit along with her. Kristen Lehrer, that's funny, her last name is teacher in German. And yeah, so she sent me a package, and it had some tea and some little sweets, which I gave to Elodie, and this yarn. She asked me if, she told me that she wanted to send me a skein of yarn from her shop, because I had mentioned that I really, really wanted some. And so she wrote me and said, you know what, I want to send you some. So I was over the moon happy. I paid for shipping because I know it's a lot to pay from Germany to America, from America to Germany. So yeah, here it is. It's so beautiful. I told her to surprise me, like I said, and dye up whatever she wanted, whatever she loved. So this is a one-of-a-kind colorway, and in the Strasse base, this is Molly's teacup. Isn't that so, so cool? I have a freaking skein of yarn named after me. So I don't know if, I know it's one of a kind, but I'm sure that she would dye up something like this again. It's gorgeous. I really love the pastel tones in here. So her exact words were, I hope you enjoy this one-of-a-kind colorway I dyed up just for you. This color reminds me of your teacups. Which is really sweet. Really, really, really sweet. I think that's so cool. And I can see that. It looks like, for me, this is what I see when I look at it. The coffee or tea, whatever I'm drinking inside of my cup at the time. And then I usually have quite floral teacups, so all of the different colors of the floral and then the cream for the base of the teacup. But I love how some of it got a little bit splattered in the yarn. Do you guys ever have yarns that you have in your stash or you buy and you don't want to knit with them, or you kind of like save them? That's how I feel about this yarn. I want to cast it on right away, actually. As soon as I got it, I thought, I need to cast this on. I need to cast this yarn on. I'm gonna open it up actually. I haven't done this. Oh, I can't, the tag is in the way. But her base is really beautiful. As soon as I got it, sorry for getting off track. As soon as I received this yarn, I thought to myself that I really want to cast it on. I think it's so beautiful. I was so grateful and thankful to Kristen for sending it to me. And I thought this needs to become something. I don't want to knit socks with it. I'm already going to say that straight off the bat. I don't want to knit socks with it at all. But I don't know what I want to knit with it. I have no idea. Let's see how many yards it is. It's 400 yards of a fingering sock weight. And I just need something beautiful. It needs to be something amazing, because it is amazing. So help me think of something super fantastic that I can knit with this yarn. I've just totally ruined the skein. Now it looks like a big fat, messy, loose skein of wool. But now you can see the colors a little bit more, I guess. Okay, I am like completely rambling today. So that is gorgeous. I am so in love with that. I cannot wait to knit something up with that. I want to cast it on soon. I really want to cast it on soon. It would be fun to make a design with it. I would love, but I think it's too has too many colors in it, especially because a lot of the things that I'm designing, when they're shawls, have a lot of lace. I don't know how that would knit up. Maybe I have to do a big swatch. Yes, so that was so exciting, such a fantastic package that came my way. Yeah. The next thing that I have been doing, because in our group we have been doing a mini skein swap. This is really addicting, winding these mini skeins. I have no idea why, but it is. It's super addicting. So I have, some of these are a lot larger than the others. They actually, some of them have way more yarn than needed be. But I just have some yarns that I really wanted to get rid of. So I wound them all up here. And I can use some of these for neck swaps because there's round 1, round 2, and I have a lot more yarn. Like some of them I wound 3 times. I made Elodie some socks with these, with this yarn. And I made her as well some baby socks with this yarn. It's a really pretty colorway. I really like it. It's super different looking. Made my Christmas socks with these, my current socks with these. I made my George the Giant Squid with this. I made my Christmas socks with this, my Cineva socks from Lena Gerald. I made my first pair of socks for Robert with this. I made some socks for my mom with this. And then these ones are just kind of extra ones. These are 2 leftover pieces of yarn from some mini skeins that a good friend gave me. I really like them. I have both of these knit into my Cozy Memories blanket as well, just because they have good memories of that friend. This is some yarn that my grandma gave me. I haven't knit anything with it, but it's very, very soft. These are 2 skeins that a good friend of mine dyed, and I haven't knit anything with this yarn yet, but I definitely will. I would like to knit maybe baby sweaters with each of them because I have enough for baby sweaters. And that's it. So I had a lot of fun winding those up. I could have gone on forever, but I just had at my little table a little bit of yarn that I wanted to wind up. So the next package that I received was from good old Philippa. So she's from Portugal, and I feel like I kind of really got to know Philippa. I hope that's your name. I hope I'm saying it right, I mean. I really got to kind of know her through our cooperative press knit along. She won the yarn from Nature's Luxury to knit her Raven's Nest shawl, and yeah, we knit the same pattern with the same yarn, different colors, but yeah. So she sent me a jackpot. of mini skeins. She sent me some adorable buttons, loads and loads of really different buttons. And buttons are always fun to have. The ones that I'm drawn to the most are these ones. And then she sent me these ones in pink as well. And then just loads of different colored buttons. I have no idea what these are. Oh, these are buttons as well. Or? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Those are crazy with just a little line through the back. Those are kind of pretty. And just lots of different buttons. These ones are really pretty too. I really like that mint green color. It's kind of the same as my my yarn that I'm spinning by Nicole C. Mendez. So she sent me those fun buttons. Then she sent me some jasmine soap in that really cute case. I'm using hard soap at our house. I don't use pump soap, I use hard soap, so the one in the bathroom is almost finished. I would say in a week it will be gone. So I will have to put this one in there. Ooh, it smells nice. And I keep my soaps in a really pretty little porcelain dish because my grandma does. She always has her soaps in just really pretty dishes. And I always love them. So I will show you each yarn that she has given me. There's really a lot. So a lot of these are Portuguese yarns. This one is fantastically dyed. I really love those colors. A lot. It's a crazy hot pink colorway. There was a time when I really, really wanted to knit hot pink socks. I think it must have been last year because I remember when my mom, grandma, and I all went through the wool show at Wisconsin. I really wanted to knit. I really remember looking at all of the pink yarns and really wanting to purchase some. I didn't buy anything at that show, which was crazy. I just remember there was a yarn that I saw that I completely loved. She has a lot of no makers, by the way. Philippa sent a lot of no makers, which is cool because I've never knit with them. But anyway, I remember that there was a yarn that I saw that I really loved. It was kind of tweedy and shades of aqua and teal and cream. And I thought I wanted to think about it a little bit, and then when I went back it was gone, which was such a pity. This one looks a lot like hand spun. It's really pretty, the colors as well. This one is really gorgeous. I like that colorway a lot. It's Color Adventures yarn. Or Yarn Adventures. The really neat thing about Philippa's yarns that she has sent is they are completely different. Her taste in yarn is super, super wide. Philippa, you have such a variety, which is so nice. It's really fun getting all of these different yarns. I don't think you have one company in here that I have ever used. And that's one thing that makes it really fun. And Philippa did not, this is one of my favorites of the yarn that she sent me. I love the purple, rose, green, and cream together. This is also by Gnome Acres, and it is called Skinny Dunker. There's no colorway, I guess that's... But I absolutely adore that colorway. I hope these are focusing. I guess I'm showing them pretty fast. If you guys have noticed, I haven't knit on my Cozy Memories blanket at all this week because I've been so into my spiral blanket of awesomeness. Which of course means that now that that one is on hold, I can pick it up again because I need to get some work done after receiving this package. I still have the last package to eat my way through. These are so adorable. And goodness gracious, you have like bought a lot of Gnome Acres. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the final one is this blue one. So lots and lots of fun stuff in that package. It makes me really inspired again to work on my Cozy Memories blanket. I'm happy to pick it up again. This morning when I woke up, the first thing that I thought of was, should I knit some squares on my Cozy Memories blanket, because I haven't knit on it all this week. And I felt a little bit strange not showing it on the podcast for a week, but I think that's okay. I think it's okay that it took a little break, and that something else, another blanket for a future baby, got some love. And that I really enjoyed working on it. It was fun to be so consumed by a project that that's all I wanted to do. In any spare moment that I had that blanket on my lap, and I knit on it and I enjoyed it, and I looked forward to it. When I was gone, I even sometimes thought about my spiral blanket of awesomeness and wanted to pick it up and knit it. And now I feel like that since my spiral blanket of awesomeness is on hold until the perfect yarn comes along, I really feel just inspired to work on other things. I'm not at the moment inspired to work on my sock. I'll pick that up whenever I feel like it, of course, but I'm really now wanting to work on my shawl, which is perfect, spin a little bit on my wheel, and knit a couple squares on my blanket. So I can see in the next couple of days those three things will get a bit of love. Maybe knit up a bird of happiness. I really want to think about what I'm going to be knitting for our classical must knits KAL. I think I will knit a pair of Hermione's everyday socks. I'm not exactly sure. And I'm also thinking about knitting a cardigan. Now, two of the cardigans that I want to knit are fingering weight, and they're the only two cardigans that I want to knit. I can't even remember for the life of me what the cardigan is called that I want to knit. I know I have been thinking about knitting the featherweight cardigan, but the other one that I really want to knit is, in 1 minute, I need to look this up. The other one that I really want to knit, Melinda's knitting this as well. It was Melinda's birthday last week, so I want to say publicly on the podcast, Melinda, Yarner Woman, happy birthday. I hope you had a fantastic birthday. I know it's a little bit late, but I want to wish you it publicly. So happy birthday. I hope it was wonderful. She's knitting, and this is the whole reason this is the whole thing that gave me inspiration to knit this, the Hit-a-Feud cardigan. and it is just an absolutely stunning cardigan. So let's show a picture. Here is a picture of the cardigan. It is absolutely stunning. And then here it is kind of from the side. I adore it. She's knitting it out of Madeline Tosh, which I'm so jealous of. But I have a lot of really nice fingering weight yarns that I can knit it out of. I think about using Linné yarn, lint liquor. That's a possibility. Yeah, if I knit that, I think I will use, for the Hidafute, I think I will use the lint liquor. If I decide to knit the featherweight cardigan, then I will use a yarn that I have by Query Fiber Arts. So those are kind of my two choices. I would really like to knit up the yarn from Query Fiber Arts because I love it. I'll show it next week when I decide exactly what I'm going to cast on. I'll show you both of the yarns, and then what I'm going to use for my Hermione's everyday socks. So there's a big list going on. A lot of people have been adding things. I need to add them as well to the list in the board. So if you have any ideas or anything that you want to knit that isn't on the list and you think it's classic knit, so it's something that has to have been really popular and what's classic, and a lot of people have knit this item, add it to the forum. Just request it and I can add it there. So I really look forward to that. I have been aching to cast on a cardigan. I haven't knit a cardigan, I think, since January was maybe the last time that I was working on a cardigan. And I feel like it's time. It's time to cast one on, to get one going. And I think that the classic Must Knits KAL is perfect for that. So yeah, I had a lot of fun chatting with you guys today. It's something that I'm always looking forward to, something that I always enjoy, and I very much so look forward to it next time. I hope that we can, of course, do it outside next time. I hope that the weather cooperates with us, and I would really like to do something kind of like the Bakery Bears are doing, where they in each episode, although I wouldn't do it in each episode, I would just do it whenever I feel like they share a specific part of their surroundings or their favorite places with you. And then Dan always has like a sort of history lesson that goes along with where they are. And Berlin is so beautiful and has so much history to it. There are so many things that I'm sure a lot of you would love to see. So that's kind of a feature that I think about doing. With that said, have a fantastic week ahead, a lovely weekend, and enjoy your handcraft.